Hashtag Chloe Jane. Darkness has clung to me like a shadow ever since that fateful day when my sight was snatched away. At the tender age of 6, innocent and unaware, those I believed I could rely on turned out to be my father's foes. Kidnapped and left blind at such a young age. How does one stay positive after a harrowing experience like this? How can you not pity yourself when your childhood has been utterly destroyed? I suppose if it were anyone else, they'd have succumbed to despair. But I've always been incredibly optimistic in the face of adversity. My mother used to say it was a gift from the goddess. From a young age, I've never been one to wallow in self-pity or sadness. I knew losing my sight would be a hindrance, but it would also sharpen my other senses. My hearing and sense of smell are far superior to most. I can detect when people are being untruthful and condescending towards me. I've even helped my father expose a few people and allies who were lying to him. Is my father a powerful man? Well, he's an elderly alpha of a small pack, but his power is undeniable, and he has influence in his line of work. No, he's not a big name alpha like Alpha Kai Volkov or Alpha Fenris Vega. My father's pack may be small, but his vote in human and shifter affairs holds more weight than that of a human president or senator. He's known as the Sovereign. Does this shed more light on my kidnapping? He was on the verge of introducing a silent bill that would give supernatural creatures better representation in human courts, especially rogue shifters and lone wolves without packs. The so-called animal attacks during the full moon could have been better explained and represented as well. But some humans who knew about these shifters, along with power-hungry alphas, didn't want this. So, not only was I the unfortunate victim, but my mother lost her life. My father dropped the bill afterward, but I know it's been gnawing at him ever since. I'd like to say things changed after that, but my father reduced our pack to around 50 people. People he trusted more than his brother, who was the mastermind behind my kidnapping and my mother's death. So, I guess that's where my story begins. A knock sounds on my bedroom door, and I hear it swing open. From the scent of the person entering, I can tell it's my older sister, Kim. A warm smile spreads across my face as I turn towards her. Roses and freshly baked apple pie, her scent is like a comforting embrace, like home. She essentially took on the role of the lady of the house after our mother passed away. I'm beyond grateful to her. Thanks to her, smiles and happiness have always been a part of my life. I knew I'd find you here, she says, her voice soft as I hear her footsteps approaching me. There's something I need to talk to you about. The smile on my face fades a little, and I sit up, patting the space next to me. What's this about? Did something happen? There's a sudden surge of anxiety in her scent, but she quickly masks it. She's become quite good at hiding her true feelings since she learned I can read people better without my sight. Usually she's successful, but for some reason not this time. She sits down beside me and lets out a long sigh. Nothing's happened. Well, not yet, she says, then she takes my hand. Her words, combined with the tremble in her hands, make my heart race. My sister worries about my future more than anything, so I have a feeling this must be about me. What do you mean? Daddy wanted me to talk to you about this because he thinks me telling you will make it easier to bear, she says, tightening her grip on my hand. The son of one of his colleagues will take over the position of Sovereign Alpha when Daddy retires next year, and he's asked for your hand in marriage. I hear her words, but the implications hit me like a ton of bricks. I yank my hand back. What? How is Daddy okay with this? I ask, and her silence says it all. Kim. Well, Daddy said yes. Without asking me? I exclaim and spring to my feet. How could he do such a thing? At times like these, I hate being blind. I'd march right into his office if I could. What gives him the right to trade me away like a prize? It doesn't make sense, considering my father is usually so open with me. CJ, you need to understand. Take me to him. I want him to explain this to me, not you. I snap and stand firm. You shouldn't be the one taking my anger. He's the one who set this up. It takes her a few seconds, but she finally sighs and takes my hand to lead me to my father's office. It's not fair to yell at her when he's the one who deserves my wrath. Arranging an arranged marriage for me? Why would he do such a thing? Kim knocks on the office door. When she opens it, I storm inside. She gasps in surprise, and I hear my father's chair scrape back. Chloe? What's going on? He asks, sounding genuinely surprised. How could you do this, Daddy? Marrying me off to a stranger. For what? I cry out, my voice thick with anger as tears stream down my face. What possible reason could you have for this? Another thing I hate about myself. I cry when I'm angry. I hear his footsteps approaching me, and I immediately sense his sadness. He places his hands on my shoulders and lets out a long sigh. Please don't think I did this out of selfishness, he says. I did this to protect you, CJ. Protect me? By giving me to someone I don't know? I ask. How is that protecting me, Daddy? Because the man I'm giving you to is not only someone I trust but an alpha as well, he says, leaving me stunned. Not only that, but he wants to pass the bill I gave up a long time ago, and he wants me to be his advisor. So, the only safe place for you is by his side, in his larger pack. My heart leaps to my throat. I try to take a step back, but I'm rooted to the spot. This man, this alpha wants to try and pass the law that got me blinded in the first place. As much as I want to argue with my father, I know he's right. Is it already decided, then? I murmur as my anger fades completely. I can't believe I'm feeling so defeated so soon. I have no choice. I'm afraid not, sweetheart. He'll come to see you tomorrow night. I've arranged a bodyguard for you while he runs this campaign and gets more people on his side. You'll be getting married in 6 months' time, 6 months before he tries for the bill again. I hear his words, but they don't seem to sink in. I simply nod and whisper a thank you before walking over to where my sister is waiting for me. She puts an arm around my shoulders and leads me back to my bedroom. So, in 6 months, I'll be someone's Luna, someone I've never even met. I understand my father's reasons, but why did this alpha agree to marry me? And why do I have such a bad feeling about it? #ruin. War, torn battlefields, and the stench of death have been my home for centuries. Scars have been etched on my soul, mirroring the carnage I've witnessed and caused. I'm a creature of destruction, condemned to wander this earth forever. In a past life, people used to whisper my name. I was known as Conquest, the rider on the white horse, the first horseman signifying the end times. Oh, how wrong they were. We've been here, since the gods created us, watching, waiting. Now they call me Ruin, a wolf shifter and beta to Alpha Riker, or rather, the Pale Rider. Every few millennia, we reincarnate as different supernatural creatures, reaching our true power when our human vessels turn 18. Beneath my tough exterior lies a heart burdened by the weight of the lives I've taken. I'm the aftermath of chaos, the result of war, and the beginning of it all. How many lives can you take before you lose faith in everything? I know the creators had a purpose when they made me and the others, but sometimes I wish they'd kill off the human emotions in me every time I reincarnate. I feel everything, and I loathe it with every fiber of my being. Sitting on top of the tallest building, I overlook the city's night sky and inhale the filth that humans breathe in every day. I still can't understand why Riker wants us here when we could be in any other bloody city or continent. He says it has something to do with the wolf god's reincarnation, but I think there's more to it. There's no reason for him to worry about a lesser god like Xamner. But then again, who am I to question him when he's our leader? /Ruin, you're needed back at the pack house. Speak of the devil. Riker calls me over the shifter mind link. I let out a sigh before leaping from the building. I park my Harley somewhere down here. As soon as I spot it, I make my way back. What insignificant mission will he send me on now? Hitman services in Nebraska? Or maybe my favorite, money collecting? Gods, I hate this new life. I'm cursed to live it until the creators decide we need to reincarnate again. I arrive at the pack house and take my time walking inside. I'm sure Riker knows I'm here, but he knows how much I hate this life, so he won't push it. With my hands in the pockets of my black jeans, I find him in the living room, staring into the lit fireplace. I may talk trash about Riker or feel trapped by him, but I'll always fear the man. He's older and taller than me. A bearded, bulky man who could kill you with just one look. He may have been the last to arrive, but death will always triumph. And that's exactly what he is, Death. I have a mission for you, he says, without looking at me. But I need you to keep an open mind. Bollocks. I had a feeling I wouldn't like what he had to say. Once he starts like this, I know I won't be able to keep an open mind. This is something I'm going to despise, no, loathe with my entire being. I guess I'm not going to like it then? I say, watching as his shoulders shake with a soft chuckle. No, you're going to wish death on me and my family, he says sarcastically. Then he turns to face me, and a cold shiver runs up my spine. His eyes are completely white. This can only mean he's seen something and needs to act on it. I can't fight this even if I wanted to. The damned first sight he's been cursed with. Whatever he's seen must be carried out. Whatever he's seen is fated. The smirk fades from his face, and his eyes return to their human green color. Then he walks over to me and hands me the second glass of bourbon in his hand. You're going to Chicago tonight. There's a mission I need you to complete. Even if it seems trivial, it's of the utmost importance, he says, raising the glass to his lips. It concerns supernatural creatures that certain humans want to help. Chicago is Alpha Chi Volkov's territory. I'm surprised he'd send one of us there. But then again, he's close to that Alpha, so there must have been some clearance for this mission. After placing the tumbler on the table next to me, I put my hands behind my back as a sign of respect and nod. Understood, boss. Tell me what it involves, and I'll do my best. Riker's lips form a thin line, so I know this can't be good. You're going to be a bodyguard to a sovereign's daughter for 6 months starting now, he says, and that's when I lose it. Are you joking? Babysitting? You want me to babysit some spoiled brat? I ask, stunned. Please explain to me how this is of the utmost importance, mate, because I can't see it. Riker sighs and looks at me as if he expected this reaction. It only makes me angrier. He pinches the bridge of his nose and shakes his head. It's not some girl. It's a woman, someone's daughter who needs protecting because of what her father is about to do. And you think I'm the best person for that? Have you met me? I retort, raising an eyebrow. Tenebris is out of the question, and honestly, can you imagine Blight doing it? He'd kill the girl for just looking at him the wrong way, he says, tilting his head. You're the only one I trust with this. His words make an annoyed growl rumble in my chest. Another thing I hate about being a wolf shifter is the growling that gives away my emotions when I'm angry. Fine, I say, tossing back the bourbon and placing the tumbler on the fireplace mantel. I'll pack a bag and leave right away. I turn to leave, my chest filled with fury. I understand he trusts me with this, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. Deacon, he says, and I freeze in my tracks, my heart leaping to my throat. Riker never calls me by my human, given name because he knows how much I hate it. This is the second time he's done it, the first being when we met after being reincarnated, when he found me starving on the streets of London. I hate all given names, but this one even more so because of its history. I wouldn't send you if it wasn't important, brother. Just remember that, and keep an open mind, he says firmly, and I walk away without looking back. Yes, I understand. So, after packing a duffel bag, I walk downstairs, get on my bike, and leave the pack house behind for another 6 months. I know when Riker makes up his mind, there's nothing I can do. So fuck it, here I go. I arrive in Chicago nearly 12 hours later. Before checking in with my new charge, I decide to book into a hotel to sleep and freshen up. Showing up angry and exhausted will only reflect badly on Riker. Since he's into keeping politicians happy, I have to make a good impression. And, of course, they live in a posh mansion. Fucking hell. I roll my eyes as I get off my bike a few hours later, feeling refreshed, but still annoyed. It's 9 p.m. now, but the lights are still on. Not only that, but there seem to be other cars here. I wonder if it's a good time to come. As I put my helmet on the seat, the front door opens, and someone stumbles out. Wait, no, they nearly fall before leaning against a pillar by the steps. It's a shortish blonde woman in a pale dress. The scent of peaches drifts on the breeze, and it stirs something in me. I frown at my body's reaction to the woman. I wonder who the hell she is because the scent of peaches has never drawn me in like this before. I hear her sniffle, and my heart aches, surprising me. So, I step forward and walk towards her, utterly intrigued. Why does she seem so familiar? Why am I so drawn to this woman? And why do I care? My first step, and her head whips up towards me. I'm shocked by what I see. Her eyes are pure white, like she's blind, with dark blue edges. That makes sense, considering she stumbled when she ran out. And the way she's looking at me, as if she can't see me. Hello? Is somebody there? She asks, her voice like a beautiful aria. No matter how I try to step back, I find myself moving towards her like a puppet on a string. I can hear your heartbeat and smell your scent. Who are you? She sounds terrified of me, and she should be. But something in me wants to calm her fear, so I speak. You must be Ruin. Both our heads turn towards the front door. I frown when I see the man walking out. Riker said you'd arrive today, but I didn't expect you so late. I narrow my eyes because I know this man. He's older, but the last time I saw him was 15 years ago after a failed rescue mission to save his wife and daughter. I try not to show my surprise. There's no way it can be true. There's no way this is the same man from back then, and there's no way this woman in front of me is. I see you've met my daughter already. This is Chloe Jane, your charge for the next few months, he says, silencing my doubts. Now I understand Riker's words better. Now I see what he meant when I was blind with anger. And as that realization hits me, I can finally hear what my wolf is saying. Riker is cruel, but the fates are even more so. How could they mate me to a woman I nearly killed, a woman whose life I ruined with my careless actions? #Chloe Jane. Last night's introduction to my bodyguard went about as well as I expected. From my father introducing me to the man with the rather charming name of Ruin, to his grunted response. My sister led me inside without even asking why I'd been outside in the first place. Now it's morning, and I'm lying in bed, staring blindly at the ceiling, knowing he's on the other side of my bedroom door. My father apparently trusts this man for some reason. Since he's been making decisions for me lately, there's not much I can do. Besides, I got a weirder feeling from Alpha Mason than from Ruin. Gods, I don't think I can call him that name. I wonder if he has a normal name. My stomach growls, and I let out an annoyed sigh. I know I'll have to go out and find something to eat. Well, I've never been one to avoid a confrontation, so here goes nothing. I get out of bed and slowly make my way towards the door. My hands are shaking with nervousness, and the anxiety only grows when I catch a whiff of a scent through the door. That rich, intoxicating scent that I can almost taste on my tongue. I take a deep breath and force a smile on my face before opening the door. I can feel his eyes on me. I know he's standing or leaning against the wall in front of my door. There's no change in his heartbeat, scent, or breathing, unlike with my father or Kim. Great, I'll have to guess his emotions. Good morning, I say with the same fake smile. But there's no response from him. I clasp my hands in front of me, and my smile fades a little. I'm not used to people ignoring me, especially when I'm trying to be nice. I read the situation and take a step back, turning to head to the kitchen. But for some reason, he steps out and I walk right into him. Whoa, if I thought his scent was strong through the door, being this close to him is like drowning in it. What's with this scent of his? My head is spinning. Careful there, he says, his raspy voice sending shivers down my spine. Do you know where you're going? Oh, he has a British accent. Another thing that makes me sad about being blind. I'm sure he looks as rugged and handsome as he sounds. I wonder what color his eyes are, or if, unlike Mason, his hands are rough. I find myself daydreaming about a rough hand stroking my cheek and giving me goosebumps all over. Chloe Jane, he says my name, and I snap out of my daydream. I'm sure my face is bright red from blushing so hard. Do you know where you're going, or do you need my help?
Oh.
I'd like your help, please, I say, chuckling nervously. The dining room, please. My gods, I sound like such an idiot. He grunts and takes my wrist, placing a hand on my lower back. Then he starts leading me towards the dining hall. Being this close to a stranger makes my heart pound so fast that I can hear it in my ears. No one has ever had this effect on me before. He's quiet as he leads me through the house, but I didn't expect anything different. I just met him, and he seems as unyielding as a brick wall. This is the man I'll be spending the next few months with. How is this going to work? We're here, he announces, and I hear the sound of a chair being pulled out. He takes my arm again and pushes the chair in for me. Would you like to know what's in front of you? My cheeks flush, and I nod, not bothering to say that I can smell the mushrooms, bacon, and eggs. Yes, please. After telling me what's on my plate, including the glass of mango juice, Ruin steps back. I try to eat while ignoring the heat of his gaze on my back. I can barely taste what I'm chewing. Is Ruin your first name? I ask, mortified that the question slipped out. Wait, that sounds weird. I'm cut off when he lets out a low chuckle. That's the name I chose and the name I prefer, he says. Okay, so Ruin isn't his real name. Would you like to join me, Ruin? I say, not sure if there's a plate for him. You don't have to stand behind me and watch me eat. Just doing my job, love, he says, and the endearment makes me blush furiously. Yes, I know it means something different to British people, but still, that doesn't mean you have to just hover, I say, putting down my knife and fork and frowning. Is that all you're going to do? Until I'm told otherwise, he simply says, and then we fall silent again. Daddy, are you going to tell me how this bodyguard thing will work? I ask my father through our mind link, hoping for a response. He didn't say much last night. He just introduced me to Ruin, told Kim to take me upstairs, and that was it. I still need to ask him about the other agreement he has with Alpha Mason, the thing about having a baby after the wedding. Ask Ruin to take you to my study after breakfast, sweetheart. He replies just as I'm about to pick up my glass of juice. His voice startles me so much that I knock the glass over and jump to my feet. Oh, fudge, I exclaim, knowing the juice has spilled everywhere. I take a step back and bump into a wall, only it's Ruin's incredibly hard chest. I hear a low growl in his throat when I yelp, and I feel so embarrassed. Gods, he must think I'm a clumsy, ditzy blind girl with no brains. I wouldn't blame him. I'll clean it up, he says, gently taking my forearm and moving me out of the way. Would you like another glass? Yes, please, I answer, feeling like an idiot as I stand there while he cleans up my mess. Thankfully, it doesn't take long before he places a glass in my hand. I realize it's not very full. Good, because with my luck, I'd choke on the juice as soon as I swallow it. My father would like to speak with me. Can you take me to him? I ask as I put the glass on the table. Without a word, he places a hand on my lower back and leads me to my father's office. We'll probably have this conversation in front of Ruin, and that's okay with me. The conversation with my father doesn't change much from what he told me before Ruin arrived. Nothing new is added. Ruin will be my bodyguard until I marry Alpha Mason in 6 months. My father doesn't even mention the fine print, like the possible heirs. With Ruin here, I don't want to bring it up. That's a personal conversation with my father, but how will I bring it up? #Ruin. I'm pacing the bedroom that will be mine for the next few months, trying to stay calm, but failing miserably. Why didn't you bloody tell me? I'm on the phone with Riker, and I don't care that he's my superior. He knew what he was getting me into when he sent me here. He knew this woman was my biggest regret, and he still sent me. Can you calm down so I can talk? He says in a low voice, soothing my anger with his tone. I told you to keep an open mind, didn't I? I scoff. An open mind? Is that what you call this, mate? You knew what I was walking into and kept quiet about it. What does it matter if I told you or not? You still would have had to go on this mission, Ruin, he says, almost growling. Then he sighs. Listen, I know this will be tough, but it's only for 6 months. I sit on the bed and pinch the bridge of my nose. No, it's more complicated than that, I say, gritting my teeth. It turns out this woman is my wolf's mate, but I'm sure you knew that, too. What did you just say? I frown when I hear the hostility in his voice. The girl, Chloe Jane, she's my mate, I tell him. I never thought I'd be affected by the shifter-mate bond. When we were reincarnated as vampires, none of us met our so-called fated. What makes this reincarnation different? Fuck, Riker says, blowing out a breath. I promise you, I didn't know she was your mate, Ruin. The fates never showed me this connection between you, and you know I'm aware of everything. An uneasy feeling washes over me when he says this. It's as if the air has changed. Riker has the first sight. He can see things before normal seers do. So, the fact that the creators didn't show him the mate bond. Wait, why would they not show you this? Do they have something different planned for us this time? I say, pacing the floor. For the first time, anxiety fills me. The creators have never hidden vital information from Riker before. So, what does this mean for all of us? Will we all get mates? I don't know, but I'll find out. Give me some time to talk to them, and I'll get back to you, he says. Sorry about this, Ruin. If I knew. I know, I interrupt. Just find out what's going on, and why they've done this. The last thing we need is the complication of a mate bond. I hang up without waiting for his response, and throw my phone on the bed. Meeting Chloe Jane was a shock. Now, finding out that our bond might be fated? What the hell are the creators thinking? The next morning, things are even more tense, at least for me. Being close to her for a few seconds was hard enough, but now I have to be by her side all the time. It would be easier if she wasn't so adorable. She's clumsy in a charming way and gets flustered for no reason. But I think I know the reason is me. There's no way she can't feel this bond between us. How cruel must the creators be to do this to me? Then again, I probably deserve this after all the lives I've taken. Now I can only watch my cursed wolf yearn for its mate. Honestly, I wish I could bring myself to say the rejection vow. Ruin. Her sweet voice calls me, pulling me out of my thoughts. Could you please take me to the back garden? I'm standing behind her while she's reading in the parlor. I only just noticed she's looking straight up at me. Her hearing must be incredibly sensitive if she knows exactly where I'm standing. I take her hand and place it on my arm. Just tell me where you need to go, I say, and she slowly gets to her feet. Her heart is pounding, and she gasps when she stumbles into me. Gods, I'm drowning in her sweet peach scent. It's torture being this close to her and not being able to do anything. But even as I think about doing something, guilt overwhelms me. I'm the reason she's blind. I'm the reason she lost her mother. There's no denying that, and I deserve whatever punishment this is. We step outside, and a spring breeze flutters her dress and blows her hair into my face. I suppress a growl and lead her to a garden gazebo where I see her lunch is already set up. Just over there. Thank you, she says, and I help her up the 3 short steps into the gazebo. I pull out a chair for her, and she mumbles a thank you. Then I step back and leave her. This will be my job for the next few months. Watching her, keeping an eye on her for whatever reason her father wants me here. Standing around, doing nothing like a shadow. I understand that the bill they want to pass is important, but would they really go after her again? As I'm thinking this, I see Chloe Jane's sister walking towards us. When she sees me, she gasps. I nod in greeting, and she gives me a fake smile before hurrying towards her sister. I tune them out while scanning the area. There are plenty of hiding places. I'll need to talk to her father about getting more men out when she's in the garden. I can handle them, but I'd rather not shift in front of these people. Marrying him? Chloe Jane's voice makes me frown. When I look at her, I see her eyes are filled with tears. You knew about it, didn't you? It's why you were so awkward when they were here. You knew Daddy didn't just sell me as a bride, but as an incubator as well. Whoa, what the fuck? I watch as she wipes away her tears and sniffs. Her sister looks incredibly guilty. What the hell is going on? It wasn't my place to say anything, CJ, her sister says, taking her hand. This was an arrangement between Daddy and Alpha Mason. He should have been the one to tell you, not me. Well, if she's so insistent, why doesn't she look remorseful? I narrow my eyes at the sister. I decide right then and there that I don't trust her. There's something off about her. Not just the way she's looking at Chloe Jane like she can't stand her. I suppose so, Chloe Jane says, then she stands up and holds out her hand to me. Ruin, please take me back to my bedroom. Her sister stands up. I'll take you. I'd rather you not, she says as I take her hand and lead her down the steps. One look back at her sister, and I see not only contempt but also a flash of anger. Thank you, Ruin. Only doing my job, love, I say, and I almost kick myself for using that endearment. She holds onto my forearm as I lead her to her bedroom. It's only when she closes the door on me that I realize what she just talked about with her sister. My fated mate is being married off to some guy named Alpha Mason.